So, for the last month, the idiot has been just, totally lapping up this song, Dumbai by Catriel and Paco Amoroso, even though he's literally no clue what these dudes are actually singing about, other than catching, the odd word here or there, quiero ver, culo, the essentials. So, imagine the hilarity when after weeks of grooving down to Dumbai in complete and utter ignorance, he finally switches on auto-translate for the first time, and it's like, oh. So it's not about Walt Disney's Dumbo having a layover in Dubai and deciding to stay for the shopping malls. No. Picture the flying elephant, designer shade, sipping an espresso martini on some chic rooftop, discussing his NFT collection. Nor does it turn out, is it a romantic travel pitch for a luxury honeymoon package, candlelit dinners, belly dancers, overpriced cocktails with a side order of reggaeton. No. This song is essentially about some bloke, an everyman, as every man has done this at some point, perving on a girl in a miniskirt and wanting to fuck her without a condom. Si ella me mata no voy pa algún lado, te voy a comer aunque sea gula, ese culo imposible disimular, voy a abrir la caja bomboné, ella lo prendió y me puso a volar, la noche como vos es espectacular, ya no importa dónde, no importa el lugar, y no voy a usarlo con donde. And the genius of the song, for it is truly a magnificent ditty, I would claim, is that Catriel and Paco have enough cheeky chappiness going for them, for they are basically cheeky chappy squared, to be able to sing the song over and over and over again on the internet, in concert, pretty much everywhere, whilst doing so, every guy, every girl in the audience from the age of 3 to 93 appears to be lustfully singing along with mucho gusto and approval. And this is because, forgive me for essentializing, but Latinos navigate the sexual marketplace with an unapologetic realism and intuitive grasp that us wokeified pseudo-intellectual platitude-spouting PC beard strokers can barely begin to comprehend. Travel in Latin America, and it's clear that men and women there not only have each other, but also the sexual marketplace completely sussed. Women want to be sexually desired, ideally by someone they actually want to have sex with, which is unfortunately where a bit of the mismatch can arise. Meanwhile, men know at a profoundly visceral level that they need to either, become pop stars, Catriel, Paco, actors, or, failing that, someone very successful in some field or another to improve their chances of getting laid. Women are the gatekeepers of sex. And that means us men have to impress, grovel, charm, strategize, or transform ourselves. Self-discipline, self-development, blah, 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 to get anywhere near the Dumbais of our dreams and fantasies. And of course, that's the way it's always been, including in the large animal kingdom, of which all of this is just one tiny, irreducible little primate part, yes, Max? This is how it will always be, even as we continue morphing, no doubt, into AI cyborgs, no matter what Andrea Dworkin or Catherine McKinnon would like to theorize about this matter. So she's dancing, and we pervy, disgusting, one-track mind men supposedly only have eyes for the, the dum by bounce, rebote. See, I'm learning some Spanish here. The ass cheek rebound, if you like. Imagine this translation, right, by Pablo Neruda or Octavia Paz. The ass cheek rebound. Highlighting this rhythmic, kinetic motion of, the well-fed woman's jiggly bits and pieces whilst dancing. And this guy's getting seriously worked up because, we're told as men by our culture that our desire is disgusting and dirty, and we buy into that message. It's disgusting and dirty. Like, I've got to take this woman on a number of expensive dates, not talk about myself, make it all about her, write her love poems, pledge allegiance to her queendom before she will deign to go to bed with me. That's how it kind of works for most of us. Which I think Catriel beautifully skewers in that lovely line, nice teapot, yeah, where he rhymes in Spanish, gulag and gluttony. Doesn't work in English. If she kills me for staring, for wanting her, I'm not going to the gulag, he says. I'm going to open the chocolate box. I'm going to eat your Dumbai, no matter what. And then he says, and this, my friends, is the pure essence, the distilled ambrosia, the unapologetic apex of lustful machismo. He then says, your Dumbai is so essential to my happiness at this moment, lady, that it would be a sin, especially if you're Catholic, to use a condom when we do it. Which got me thinking, how often does that word, condom, Spanish, or condom, English, appear in pop songs? Oriental beauty. That's the name of the tea. More than you would think. If you take yourself off to songmeanings.com, which makes it very easy to hunt for certain terms in the lyrics of popular music, you nerdy, geeky music people. And because I have literally nothing better to do than this, I do go and read through 10 pages of condom referencing pop lyrics. So I can now report that very few people use the term as artfully and amusingly as Catriel and Paco Amoroso. And of those people who do, it's all men, with one exception, which I will mention in a moment. And this is because men, going by anecdotal evidence and my own experience, hate condoms. Particularly us poor circumcised idiots who've spent a lifetime with our knobhead sensitivity having been dulled by that rabbi wielding, the rusty scissors. Or was it the surgeon with the scalpel who mutilated us for medical, social, as opposed to religious reasons? Women and guys with foreskins, on the other hand, I feel, are generally a little bit more indifferent about condom use. For the foreskin dudes, this is how I imagine it, your dick already comes with a sheath, right? So you put a condom on that and it's just your personal skin sheath rubbing against your nerve endings inside another latex or synthetic sheath. If I'm comfortable having something like this on my head, which I totally am, adding a second head covering, right, like this, that's not going to change very much. It really isn't. The only two condom flaunting songs worth noting are, fittingly, I would say, spent condom tracks, bootlegs, B-sides, demos, these two. And each one feels like the musical equivalent of wearing a condom, functional but lacking the rawness, the intimacy of the better condom-free song that they sort of shadow. So, for example, Liz Phair has a condom, the word condom, in her song Fuck or Die. No, fuck and run. I can feel it in my bones. I'm gonna spend another year alone. It's fuck and run, fuck and run. No, fuck and run, fuck or die. Which deserves a mention because, apart from a nod to Johnny Cash's Walk the Line, she uses the condom as a kind of stand-in for the pragmatic transactional nature of sex in all its Dumbai-ness, turning Johnny Cash's more romantic tie that binds into this kind of sardonic take on how intimacy functions as both a necessity and a kind of a barrier. I keep a close watch on this twat of mine, sings Liz. I keep my eyes wide open all the time. And the condom on your dick's the tie that binds. Because you're mine, fuck or die, etc. The only problem is that the song itself ain't really in the same league as Fuck and Run. Even when I was 17, fuck and run. Even when I was 12. Which it presumably is referencing. Make you feel like a little bit more than, nothing more than a sort of half-hearted throwaway curiosity, which it is. Same can be said, I think, for Beck who in his song In a Cold Ass Fashion uses the same sort of hokey melody lyrical structure as the much better, and by now of course classic, Loser, talking about, you know, take out his eyeballs, putting them in a condom.
Went to sleep, woke up in a coffin, took out my eyeballs and put them in a condom.
Which is, you know, it's an okay, nice, surreal image, but also, what? And that's because nobody does it better than Catriel and Paco, right?
Vamos a hacerlo, cosa loca, mil maneras antes de morir. Baby, allá abajo hace calor, yo traje el ventilador para darte la buena noche.
We just have to accept this truth now and let them get on with it. Also, let us remind ourselves, smut aside, that these guys get away with it because for all their smutty groin-thrusting antics, they are also, let it be declared, gents. They really are. I've watched a number of interviews with these guys now because I've got nothing better to do, right? And they are bona fide, sweet, intelligent human beings. Trust me, psychotherapist approved Catriel and Paco. I mean, take, for example, Catriel, who valiantly offers to bring along some high-powered Dyson air circulator for the fuckathon to keep temperature in the groin area at a comfortable level for both parties.
Baby, allá abajo hace calor, yo traje el ventilador para darte la buena noche más linda. Y esto es algo superior, hasta que se esconde el sol, nos usamos de bloqueador.
And what about the line referencing the sunblock, which I personally read that as perhaps the most profound utterance in Catriel and Paco Amoroso's entire pop oeuvre, fellow idiots. For what is sex, I ask you, if not a kind of sunblock? The sun here being our shared longing to transcend our separateness, to sort of bask in the blinding light of recognition and union. With sex acting as a kind of proxy for all that high wattage, excessive and uncontainable desires that we project onto each other, and particularly screens. Wanting to be seen, to be accepted, to be truly loved for who we are and what we represent in this world. Desires which, of course, we can never really fulfill for another human idiot, especially one of the opposite sex, of the alien sex, if you like. So different are men and women in how they play this game of love and romance. Are we not forced by our culture, by evolutionary pressures, by biological imperatives and social conditioning to make our connections with that alien species, at least to begin with, mainly about sex, going out for meals, dancing, other forms of overpriced live entertainment, or whatever kinds of consumption, ultimately, we use to distract ourselves from the discomfort of actually relating to each other as needy human animals. Because in truth, we are incapable, let's just accept this, of fully knowing or loving each other as men and women. Instead, we prefer to consume each other, fuck each other for pleasure and power, and also fuck each other over, ultimately, for pleasure, for power, but mostly for control. One take wonder, dudes. Max, one take wonder, Max. One take frickin' wonder. One take wonder forgets to switch on the video.